3, 2, 1, and go. Hey guys, megamatt1254 here again. Welcome to another stream. I know this one is a day late, guys. I've had a lot going on, you know, like survival of the fittest and stuff. Had to do that. So, yep, we're streaming today, and I thank y'all for your patience and for joining us. We're talking about Fear the Walking Dead, Season 6, Episode 12. I'm joined by my usual good friends and co-hosts, Dan's Reviews and Wasteland World Official.
Howdy.
What's up, guys?
And, yeah, guys, so, we'll give people a few minutes to join the chat, and then, we'll begin our review segment, and then we'll talk some, 613 predictions. So give people a few minutes to get in the chat and stuff. So, 612, like, I guess I'll start with, like, some minor stuff. This was a really different episode, guys. Like, I liked it personally, but, you know, it was a very, you know, like, trippy kind of episode. It was like, how can I explain this? Like, it was like in a dream, like, the majority of the episode, except for, like, the last 10 minutes, I'd say. And, like, you basically have, like, these, characters, right? Like, it's our main characters, but they're really old now, and, like, Grace is trying to piece the puzzle together of where she is and, like, why this is happening. You see, like, old man Morgan, like, you see old, like, Dwight and all that, and that's pretty cool. However, some of the, characters didn't look like they changed at all, like, Dwight and Daniel just looked the same. So, that was something. But, yeah. So there's that, and, basically, we also have the stuff in the real world that's happening with Morgan. He's trying to wake Grace up, and you've got Riley and his guys that are trying to, take the key off Morgan. They're trying to attack him. And in a weird way, we kind of get the death of Riley this episode, because Grace actually kind of kills him, but obviously it's a dream, so he's not really dead. But we kind of get a visualization of, like, what his death scene would be like, kind of, which I thought that was pretty weird. It's pretty cool, though. No flaws there or anything like that. And basically, like, Morgan this episode, man, like, he does some crazy shit, guys. Like, he takes down 3 dudes with his staff. He, like, stabs one dude through the mouth. You just see, like, the blood come flying out and shit. Takes down 2 other guys. It was a great fight scene. And then, yeah, he stabs Riley, and Riley's plot armor kicks in, and it allows him to escape. I thought that was a really good scene, except for that last part, because, yeah, that was the most obvious plot armor scene I've seen in a show. I mean, in real life, let's be honest, if Morgan, you know, was cornered by these guys, he wouldn't be like, oh, wait, you're the important one? Okay, we'll leave you, but we'll kill the goons, but you get to live. And also, Morgan, if that guy ran away, let's be honest, Morgan would chase after him and kill him. Like, I'm just saying, it's the one issue I do have with this episode is that was really, like, obvious plot armor. But other than that, I have no problems with this episode, guys. And, basically, we have a new character in this episode called Athena. She's a pretty good character. She's a one-episode character, and, we also see her death in this episode, which I'll get to on, the end of the review here. So we have, like, it's almost like it's a fake-out death in a way for Grace, because they make us think that Grace is gonna die. Grace is talking about how it's her final moments, and at the end of the dream stuff, you see her walk out of the barn, and it's almost like she's going to heaven, like she's passing on into the afterlife, but it's actually her waking up. So they really trick us there. I like it personally because it's unpredictable, and you know, I feel like it would have been way too predictable. Like, you guys remember last stream, me and Wasteland and Dan were talking about how, like, Grace is 95% dead. Well, that 5% actually ruled out, and she survived. But unfortunately, Athena does die in this episode, guys, as a newborn. It is like a very disturbing, very sad scene, and it's something that I never thought The Walking Dead would do. It honestly kind of gave me, like, vibes to, you know The Walking Dead comics when Judith dies and Lori dies? Well, it's kind of like that, except Grace doesn't die, obviously, but it's like, I never would have seen The Walking Dead show, like any of the Walking Dead shows ever pulling something like this, guys. Like, I gotta say, it's a very ballsy move, and yes, it's a well done scene. Will I go back and watch it? No. If I have to watch Fear, like, I'll obviously rewatch the entire 6th season at some point. I'll be skipping this scene, guys. I just don't want to see that. It's just, it's disturbing, right? It's not, like, something I want to watch. So, like, I don't know. That scene was just depressing, man. And Lenny James and Karen David, man, they did such a good job. When Morgan turns around and you just see his face, you just know, like, you're just like, you feel like all hope is lost at that point. The key's been taken, the baby's gone, and man, they end the episode like that, guys. They legit leave you there on that episode like that. And I remember me and Dan were watch partying it, and we're just sitting there after. We're like, well, shit. That was depressing. And I remember we're, like, talking about it for a while after. But, like, you guys get what I'm saying. Like, what a dark, depressing note to leave an episode on. It might be one of the darkest, if not the darkest ending a Walking Dead episode has ever done. Like, I gotta say, like, they really freaking... They went there, guys, and they did it. They freaking did it. And, okay, so we'll talk about some other stuff now. I really don't want to talk about that no more. Old Man Morgan was pretty cool. We don't get too much of him, but when he was there, he was pretty cool. I like when he comes in and he saves Athena in the barn. I thought that was a good scene. And when Grace has to say goodbye to Athena and Old Man Morgan, I thought that was another good scene. And, yeah, that's basically, like, what I think about this episode, guys. I honestly really liked this episode. It was very disturbing. It made you feel, like, a sense of helplessness. And honestly, guys, as much as I fucking just cannot watch some of this episode because of how brutal it is, I can't sit here and say it's bad, because it's not bad, in my opinion. It's just, it's hard to watch, but it's well done. Like, they did their job, as they would say. So, like, honestly, I have to give this episode a 9 out of 10. The only thing holding it back from a 10 is the ending, honestly, a little too freaking dark for me. I don't like being left on a really dark note like that. Also, the plot armor stuff with Riley was way too obvious, and might I add, if Riley had a gun, like, because he points a gun at Grace, why didn't he just use that on Morgan earlier? Like, I don't know, guys. There's just some stuff there. Like, why didn't the End is the Beginning group even bring guns? Like, they would have just killed Morgan, taken the key, goodbye. But, it's plot, right? I don't want to argue with it, really. But yeah, like, those are the only negatives I really have with the episode, guys. It was a pretty good episode. There's, like, the minor stuff I don't like, of course, and then, there's, like, the dream stuff, there's, like, the stuff with Morgan, and yeah, I like this episode, guys. 9 out of 10 is fair, and I'm gonna hand it over to my buddy Wasteland now.
Alright, so, what I think of this episode, I thought this episode was very, very good, actually. Like Matt said, it was a bit, weird at some point, which I actually, I actually think it's fine for what it is with the dreams and stuff. I thought it was fine. Um, but yeah, I thought the whole entire episode with, like seeing what life could have been like with, with Athena if she actually was, born and, actually, survived the well, survived and lived. I thought that it was cool to see how that would have went down, and it just shows more, whenever Athena actually dies, how sad it is and stuff, and how brutal and stuff, because it really shows you like what it could have been and how happy they could have been with her, and and I thought that was very well done. Um, uh, I thought that seeing the characters older and stuff, I thought that was pretty cool. Older Morgan, you got a older look of Strand, I guess. I mean, kinda, you not too much, but kind of. Dwight just has a bigger beard. That's about it. Sherry looks the same. It's that the whole gist of it. Um, yeah, I thought that the way that was shot and stuff was very good. Another thing I liked about this episode was the end of the beginning attacking Morgan and stuff, and when he's killing those two dudes like Matt said. Yes, and the Raleigh thing is very plot armory, and like it's obvious as heck, man. Like it's so obvious that Raleigh has like level 5 like plot armor right there because he just walks away and stuff, and then he drives it back in. But and yeah, I thought that was a bit like could have done they could have done a bit better with that. Like maybe like Raleigh versus Morgan. I think that'd been cool. Like you have like Raleigh, maybe he has like a knife and stuff, and he's trying to go after Morgan, and Morgan's just blocking shots. I think that'd been like a good fight and stuff. I don't think that they really should have went with the whole entire like Morgan just automatically stabs him type of thing. I think that they should have had a bit of a battle because Raleigh is one of the high-ranking members of the End of the Beginning, which I mean, more than likely, as it's looking, is probably second in command, at the very least third in command. But yeah, again, I thought that was a really, that was like it could have been better. Uh, but again, like Matt said, this episode was really depressing, like especially towards the end, very depressing. Especially when you well, I don't even want to go into details. It's that bad, guys. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But when you legit see everything, yeah, it's very gruesome, very, very, very bad stuff. Depressing stuff. Um, and yeah, I mean, I think that this episode overall was really good. Would I call it flawless like some of the people I see online? Like people are saying like this is the best episode of Fear. No, I'm sorry, but it's not the best episode of Fear. It really isn't. It is great. It's just not the best. Yeah, I think that overall, I would give this episode. I'm actually gonna agree with megamatt here and give this one a 9 out of 10. Again, like he said, the plot armor stuff kind of didn't have to be there that much. The Athena character was cool for what it was. Seeing the future and what life could have been like was great. The whole entire death was gruesome as heck. Very, very, very gruesome stuff right there. And I mean, yeah, that's my review overall. I'll hand it over to my buddy Dan.
Yeah, so this episode of Fear the Walking Dead, guys, now, this one was, I mean, trying to find the words to describe this episode is very hard, but Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 12, called HBO. I'm sorry, it's called In Dreams. And this episode, guys, the reason why I'm calling this out like this is because this is some stuff that, any of y'all that watch any HBO shows, really can be any show, you guys know, it's one of them networks that would do something like AMC did with Fear the Walking Dead right here. And it's just insane. I mean, it is insane. I remember there were people that were asking and they were thinking like, hey, do you think that this will be the darkest episode of Fear the Walking Dead? And I remember I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that this is going to be the darkest episode. Maybe Grace will die. Maybe that's how bad, like I thought that's as bad as it would get, But no, that's not what they did. Grace is fine, which is also, in my opinion, that's where I got to give this week's episode some credit because it literally took a storyline that, in my opinion, was very predictable at first. We're just like, oh yeah, Grace is going to die, and it's just going to be that simple, that black and white. And no, it's not anything like that at all. It is literally, in my opinion, one of the best twists in terms of a prediction for an episode because no one, I think, thought that they had guts like this, and that's why I like it. Now, in terms of the dream sequences, I like it. I think it's good. I think it's a hell of a lot better than The Walking Dead did in Season 8, personally. I do like it a little bit better because in The Walking Dead, I mean, let's just be honest, it led to a horrible death. But in Fear the Walking Dead, you're kind of sitting there the whole time, because during The Walking Dead, when they did those dream sequences, you're like, okay, obviously it's, something Carl wanted for them. Like, you know what it's for, but you're questioning if it's real or not. In this one, it's not real. But the interesting thing about these dream sequences is that even though obviously, any idiot would know it's not real, the big thing about it is that, you're wondering and you're trying to figure out what it's for. That's the thing. And yeah, I like that. I think the Dwight stuff with Sherry, I liked it. I thought it was good. And I also do like that it actually was Austin Emilio's real life son that played his son in this one. I thought that was really cool. And I thought that, getting to see, Daniel and Strand was pretty cool. I'm glad to see that Daniel would be alive after all these years as well, too. I thought that was pretty cool. And they're like kind of buddies now and stuff like that. I do like kind of the overall, feel of the dream sequences, what things could have been. And I do think that Dwight having a happy family, having a happy life is clearly set up, in my opinion, for Dwight losing Sherry. That's just my opinion. But if that's what they're doing, I like how they're even doing a fantasy for Dwight when it's not even a Dwight episode. But even then, they're setting stuff up for him. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, the dream sequences were good. I like how they play along with the current timeline, which, let's talk about that. The fight scene with, Riley and the guys. Now, listen, I'm not going to beat up on this too much because at the same time, I love it. I like, how Morgan takes them out. He's doing his darn thing, which I like. But there's only one problem with this thing. It's the plot armor, guys. It's absolutely the plot armor. And I don't really understand why they had to go so, I guess, obvious with it, because I feel like I've said this a million times over, but they could have just done it to where Morgan thinks he took him out, Morgan thinks that he killed Riley, and then you get a double, you get a win-win situation. You don't end the episode on a depressing note, and you don't make it seem like obvious plot armor. Morgan thinks he killed him, Morgan thinks he got rid of him, and then you've got the big reveal at the end that he's actually alive. So I feel like they could have done that. That would have been a better idea, in my opinion. Now, one other thing is Athena. I thought the actress did a great job. I don't really think there's anything wrong with her. I think she did a fantastic job, and I think the actress really just, she did it for me. I thought she did a good job. Now, the last thing, obviously, speaking of Athena, let's talk about the last thing, which I'm not going to delve into this too much because, honestly, I'm kind of sick of talking about it, to be honest. But, I got to mention it, obviously. They obviously, they did. They killed off, no, I'm not even going to say it just because I don't really feel right saying it, to be honest. I'm not really wanting to go into that too much. But you guys know what they did. And it's just, honestly, I got to give it to Lenny James in particular. He always blows me away, and this was no exception. Karen David has really grown on me after this one, I got to say. I feel like when that actress is, has a good episode, she can sell it. So I appreciate that. And overall, this episode, in the end, I'll say I'm going to agree with the two guys right here. I'm going to say it is a 9 out of 10. A few gripes, obviously, the plot armor just being a little too, laid on a little too thick, and a few other things. But obviously, the episode's not perfect, but I think it is good enough to where, even though enjoyment-wise, it's probably one of my least favorites just because of how dark it is great. At the end of the day, it's well done, and that's my review. That's my thoughts.
Awesome. Yeah, both of your reviews I 100% agree with. We had, really dark, tragic moments this episode. There was obviously the little flaws there with the plot armor, and we also had, good moments too. The dream stuff was all very well done, and the fight scene prior to the plot armor stuff was, honestly, it was a badass scene. So, 9 out of 10 is very fair for this episode. What do you guys feel about this episode in the chat? Are you guys liking it? Are you not liking it? Or are you just kind of neutral with it? Me personally, my take on it. I think it's a well-done episode. Just very brutal. Alright, let's read some chat now. Hey guys, one hell of a fucked up episode this week. Majorly agree. I hope next week blows me away like she blew away I hope... Oh, okay, never mind. You did a bit of a typo there. It's all good. I'll be honest, I cried at the end of 612. I didn't cry, I was horrified. I was, shocked. It was just very brutal. Hey Matt, hope you don't mind me joining your world. Nah, it's all good. Anyone who wants to join the Minecraft world, feel free. Just don't grief anything, thanks. 612 is a masterpiece. Masterpiece, it's almost there for me. It's almost there for me. There are some things about it that hold it back, but is it a really good episode? Heck yes.
I would have said masterpiece if there would have been like I said, the whole Riley ending. Maybe you think he thought he killed him. You've got that whole thing there. The standoff with the key, in my opinion, maybe just shouldn't have happened or something. And you could have had I don't know, he thinks he killed Riley, and then the other thing would be ending it on a better note, not having it be ending it on that note, and then you're good. I think, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna say though, guys, the way they ended it this week, yes, was it well done? Yes. Was it a little too dark? Yes. There's I don't know, it's a weird fine line there, where, is it well done, and is it good storytelling? Yes, but is it way too depressing? Yeah, it is. So, I don't know how to feel about it ending like that. I can't flaw it, but, at the same time, I'm not going to enjoy it.
No, definitely not. It's not flaw season 5 flaw, but it's just, I don't know, it's not for me personally, because I feel like they could have ended it in a more intriguing way instead of ending it and you feel depressed as shit.
Agreed. I feel this episode might get some controversy. I think that goes without question for any show that kills off a, it probably will get some controversy, honestly, but, honestly, people need to learn to chill out. It's a TV show, it's not real.
Yep. Yeah, people need to realize that it's not real at the end of the day. It is still entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
Fiction and non-fiction type of stuff. You gotta learn to take it,
Gotta blur the line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's some screwed up stuff in the showrunner community shows, but it's not real. That's the thing.
I'm not glad that the baby died, but I have to give respect to the writers for having the balls to do this. Oh yeah, agreed. Honestly, I'm not sitting here yes, a baby died, amazing. I'm not saying that, but I gotta give the writers credit. That's a that's a ballsy move on their part. They could have just went the cliche route, oh, Grace dies and the baby lives, and, which we all would have just been we predicted it, it happened. But, no, the writers, completely did a 180, and they reversed the scenario, which I would have never seen that at all. Never would have predicted that.
Yep. I would have never predicted, to be honest, that literally the darn dream sequences that, come on, let's be real here. We all thought these dream sequences were going to be for Grace and that she would die and it'd be all tragic and all, so on and so forth. But it's I like the twist because it's you think you know what these dream sequences are throughout the whole episode. And at the end, it's just a big punch in the gut and you're like, oh, okay.
I know. Shockingly, though, not to toot my own horn, I remember last stream, I did have a theory I made. I didn't believe in it at all, but I remember saying, what if Grace's baby dies and, Morgan raises Isaac's baby, as his own, kind of? I remember I said that, which I'm shocked that I actually predicted that, dude.
Man, nice work, honestly, because I gotta tell you, honestly, as much as I remember I was thinking to myself, too, I wanted to believe you, but I'm would AMC really pull that crap? But, I mean, I guess so.
Well, honestly, I thought that prediction, legit, I'm not even gonna say, I knew, anything was gonna happen. That was, a shot in the dark right there. That was me just, throwing something out there, not thinking it was gonna be anything.
Yep.
Well.
Funny, at first I thought the character in the thumbnail of Brian's stream was a young Grace. Well, yeah, it was Athena in, the dream sequences, yeah. What's with fear characters having weird-ass last names? I mean, I guess some of them do.
Yeah, certain ones.
Let's be honest, though, guys, it's called The Walking Dead. They're just gonna have some weird names.
Morgan Jones.
Morgan Jones
Matt
is fine.
Clark
is normal.
is normal. I'm sorry, I don't see your point really. Okay.
I do have one weird last name though. This one is so weird, guys. Honestly, Negan Smith. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Give you another one. Michonne Hawthorne.
Michelle. Yeah, that's right. That's her last name.
Freaking Hawthorne.
I'm sorry, guys. Like, I get that it's kind of cool to learn some stuff about Negan, but I did not need that last name reveal.
No, just keep it secret.
Honestly, let the fans kind of like theorize it. Like, Negan Smith, it's so boring.
Man, it's like those fans that theorized over Beta and his past. Like, the writers didn't even write anything. They literally just let the fans come up with what they wanted for Beta.
It's your classic. Freaking Negan Smith just sounds like your Smith just sounds like your regular white dude last name.
I theorized.
No, guys named Smith, but just saying.
Yeah.
I theorized that Grace would lose the baby at the start of 6A, but I thought it would be a miscarriage. It kind of was.
Yeah. I mean,
sorta.
It's funny. In the comics, we never learn Negan's last name, which is how it should be in the show. Yeah. What do you guys like? Okay, I know this is completely off topic for Fear, but I do want to just discuss this real quick. Which story do you prefer? Here's Negan on the show or the comic version?
Here's Negan on the show, personally.
Show.
Same. Comic was good too, though. Comic focused more on, like, him forming the Saviors.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I do like, but, I mean, it's Here's Negan, not Here's Saviors. I mean, come on now.
Yep. I remember Here's Negan catched a lot of flack for that, but I'm like, I'm fine with how it was.
I honestly do not give a crap, honestly. I think we got the backstory we deserve, and people are just saying it, just say it.
People are too picky nowadays, let's be honest. And, the other thing about it is, too, like, the only thing I wish that we could have seen from that is instead of Laura, it was like, maybe they could fill in a role instead of Laura, or maybe they could even still have Laura, but just have Dwight in it. But it's like, people say that that's a flaw, and I'm like, but darn well they would have if Austin Emilio wasn't busy on Fear.
It was intended to be Dwight. It was in the script, but Austin Emilios had to decline because he was too busy on Fear.
Exactly, which is why I still got to give it credit. Yeah, it wasn't done, but it still was the original plan.
That's what Angela Kang tried to do with the writing, yeah. I feel like Dwight would have had more to do than Laura, though. Like, I feel like if Dwight was in 1022, Dwight would have been in a lot of that episode.
Yeah, well, let's be honest, like, Laura and Negan did not even have, like, a one-on-one conversation, like, just the two of them, whereas I feel like if Dwight was there, you would probably see them, like, I don't know, camping by a campfire, and, like, Dwight be asking Negan about his past. Like, I could see them doing that.
Yep.
Been having severe migraines all week. I'd probably get that checked, man. If it's, like, constant severe migraines, yeah.
Yep.
But here's the thing, though. If you had Dwight in there, though, then technically wouldn't you also kind of need Sherry?
I mean...
And wouldn't you need Tina
actually,
as well?
You're right. Because it is...
Damn
I think Dwight was with the three of them before the apocalypse. Like, I think it was, like, you would have needed Sherry and Tina, unless, like, you could do, like, a little plot line where, like, Dwight got separated from them or something.
Or
yeah,
maybe that's what he needs to get Negan for, like, to help him out or something. I don't know.
That could have been cool, actually. Like, maybe he gets Negan's help to find them. We don't see them find them, but, like, maybe he makes a deal. Like, we give you the IV bags or something, like, for Lucille, but in return, you have to help me find my wife.
What's the one dude's name? Franklin?
Franklin, yeah. People are theorizing that he's part of the Commonwealth and all this crap right now.
Well, here's the thing. Why is it just now everybody is like, oh, Commonwealth, they're at the Commonwealth, they have to be. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay.
In my opinion, just because the Walking Dead fanbase seems to like to theorize about every not dead character in the book, I really wish that Franklin got killed off in 1022, man.
I do too, because it's literally getting to a point now where the Commonwealth storyline is getting so out of hand And yes, I hate to bring this up because I'm annoyed just saying it myself, but everyone's like, ooh, what if Dwayne's at the Commonwealth? I'm like, people, please, give me an alive character here.
Oh Lord, you guys hear like all the theories. These are the ones I've heard now. Apparently, all these people are at the Commonwealth, according to a lot of fans. Apparently, Dwayne's at the Commonwealth. Jeffrey Grimes is at the Commonwealth. Franklin's at the Commonwealth. Gilmero from the Vatos is at the Commonwealth. Shall I go on? That's all I've heard like that stuff, dude.
Yeah, it's honestly so bad because it's like, okay, put yourself in that perspective for a second. If you're a fan and you're watching the Commonwealth storyline and you've got all those characters, all the ones you just listed there, and, you know, if not more, you imagine how cringy that would be for all of them to just be in the same place?
I heard the dumbest theory the other day. The theory goes that Mercer is Morgan's brother and he found Dwayne and he's raising him as his own.
No,
No, dude.
Mercer Jones.
Oh, frick, man.
If Dwayne returns, I'm giving the episode a 0 out of 10. I don't give a flying fuck. We're right there with you, Rowdy.
Same.
Yep.
Yeah, if Dwayne returns, that episode is going to be a...
Yep. Agreed.
Yep. Okay, let's talk about some, let's get back on Fear. We should be, like, discuss more of that. 613, guys. So, like, they introduced this new character in 613. He's in the promos. If you haven't seen it, I recommend going to check that out real quick so you know what we're talking about here. Okay, so the theory is right now that John's dad is going to be in 613 and play a recurring role in the rest of the season and possibly season 7. Now, the theory right now is it's either John's dad or it's the man that he framed. Me personally, I don't see it being the guy that he framed just because John's dad was a corrupt cop. He framed people to boost his career and stuff. And you also see in his RV, he has a bunch of old like pictures of crimes from the 70s and stuff. And this actually was super shocking. As you see a picture of Teddy when he was young, and it says Mortician gets life in prison. And then you see a picture below that saying the end is the beginning. And I'm like, oh crap, that saying's been around for a while, like even before the apocalypse. Like Teddy's been doing this like way before.
This has been going around. Keep in mind, guys, since our grandparents was like in their 20s.
Oh yeah. Yep, the end is the beginning group is like, it's something that, in my opinion, and I'm telling you, dude, they are setting up for one hell of a backstory. That's all I can say.
Oh, dude, honestly, could you imagine an episode of The Walking Dead set in, like, the 70s with, like, young Teddy, and you see, like, his cult, and you see, like, John's dad, like, taking him down and stuff? That'd be such a good episode, man.
Please do it.
Knowing them, they would turn that into one of their other 50 spinoffs.
Oh, man, no, don't give them that idea.
Episode.
Oh, man. Gimple, if you're watching this, please don't listen to what Dan just said.
Gimple, I hope you have your earmuffs on, bud.
Oh, man, just do a backstory episode in Season 7, I'd say.
Man, I tell you one thing, though, right now, that is definitely John's dad, because, like, the scene in it's not the official trailer, but it's the one where Jenna Elfman's, like, talking about the episode and all that, and, like, you've got that one clip where you've got the guy, which, in my opinion, is John's dad, and he's just like, where'd you get that gun? And it's like he recognizes it or something. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I see what they're doing.
Okay, and just because they pulled something really brutal at the end of 612, like, honestly, they're not above seeing, like, younger people die, so what do you guys think about this theory? Do you guys think that John's dad... Keep in mind, this guy was a corrupt cop. He wasn't a good guy. John used to tell a lot of bad stories about this dude. But keep in mind, right? Imagine John's dad. He finds out that John is dead. Do you guys think he's going to kill Dakota?
Possibly.
He should. I'm not saying he will or he won't, but he should.
I think he is, and I think it's how they're really going to set that character up, is maybe June, like, tells him, like, yeah, it's the one that killed him, and, like, maybe he, like, without any hesitation, like, I don't know how he'd do it, but he kills Dakota, and, like, he avenges his son. Because, keep in mind, John's dad From what we know, he doesn't really give two shits. He's a not a good person.
And I could see it, to be honest. Something about this is just in my head right now. It just, I feel like this would be really freaking crazy just to introduce that character. You've got everybody in the dam, you got everybody talking, you got everything like that. And then when he finds out that it's this little girl that, like, actually killed John, he just completely takes out his gun, executes her in front of everyone. And Morgan and them are just looking at this guy like, who? Okay, who in the hell is this dude?
Yeah. Honestly, like, my prediction, this guy's here to stay for a bit. Like, I don't think this will be a one-off character. I don't think he's going to die in 6B. I think this is Fear, because they know Garrett wanted off. I think this is, like, their, like, you know, technically, like what Rowdy just said in the chat, it's the replacement for John.
Yep. Oh, yeah, exactly. It's the, you know, it's the old man John.
It's John Sr. That's what I'm going to call him until we get his name revealed. It's John Sr. And they got a perfect freaking actor for him, too. Keith Carradine. I've seen him in a lot of stuff, and he's a really good actor, so I was actually surprised to see him on The Walking Dead. I never thought I'd see him on a Walking Dead franchise, so it's really cool to see him playing a character on Fear, and I hope he sticks around for a bit, because I'm a huge fan of that actor.
Oh, yeah, the dude is brilliant. I mean, he's, like I said as well, too, on my end, I've seen him in a few things, and I gotta say, like, I remember, like, because I remember when I first saw the promo, I'm just like, okay, I think I know that guy. And then I looked at it a few more times, I enhanced the brightness, I'm like, holy frig, never mind. So this guy's in Fear now, too? Like, damn.
Honestly, it's the one time I'm gonna be okay with, like, a random-ass family member reunion. Because the potential this has is so cool. Like, think about this. Is this dude, John Sr., has a past history with Teddy. He's, like, you know, investigated him, and he goes all the way back to the 70s trying to bust him. Now, imagine, like, he's still kind of in detective mode right now, and he's starting to take down Teddy, but this time it's in the apocalypse, and he's trying to kill him.
Man, instead of, like, younger guys back in the day, now it's all these years later, and it's two old men going at it. Like, think about that for a second.
Trying to kill each other, you know what I'm saying? What if John Sr. is on the intro instead of June? Give me a sec, guys.
Man. Sorry about fell asleep there.
All good.
I've been up all night. Been doing a bunch of crap.
Alright, I'm back. What if John Sr. is on the intro instead of June? Don't think they'll do that, because I don't think they want to fully spoil him yet. They want to keep it a little mystery, I feel. Plus, I don't think we're going to see John Sr. until about halfway through the episode.
Yep. It kind of begs the question, though, like, who's going to be on the intro? They've already done a June one, so I'm like, are they doing... Please don't tell me it's just a Sherry one or something. That'd be so dumb.
You know what I think it'll be is, I could see it being June. Maybe you have John Sr. in the background and you got the RV.
I like it. Yep.
And you got, like, a Western twang to the Fear intro this week with the music. Because notice they kind of change the Fear music now every episode. They kind of alter it just the tiniest bit.
And I could see maybe, like, the color of this one being, like, maybe a grayish, bluish mix.
Yeah, agreed. Grayish blue, yep. That would be really cool. I'm trying to think of some more 613 stuff. Oh yeah, we actually do see... we see a bit of Morgan and Grace in this episode, and I'm like, please don't linger on that for too long. Like, they're just... That friggin' 612 stuff's still fresh on my mind, man.
Man. Oh, another thing, too, is this one, it just... I don't know what it is. It impressed me when I saw the preview. Is when you just see that road, and it says the end is the beginning across it.
Yeah. Yep. You know what I love, though, about the End is the Beginning group, is that these guys were around before the apocalypse. I think this is the first time a Walking Dead threat has been around from before, like, the apocalypse. Like, you know, like, because every other Walking Dead group, like the Saviors, Woodbury, the Whisperers, that was all in during the apocalypse. Whereas these guys, they've been around, man. They've been around for a bit.
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest thing about it, though, is that I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, like I remember when I saw episode 11, I'm just like, okay, these guys, like, yeah, they're good, but them saying that they're the most like capable, scariest group in the Walking Dead franchise, like, I still don't get it. Episode 11 was good, but I don't know. And 12, I'm still like, I just don't get it. They're a good group of villains, but why are they the most important group of, like, villains in the show or in the franchise? Might I add? And it's like, no. Now I'm actually, for the first time, I actually am understanding it, because it's like Matt was just saying. You literally have this group that goes back all these years. Like right there, that's step one of proving to me why these guys are so important.
Not to mention, these guys are legit after nuclear weapons, dude. Like, these guys mean business.
Oh, yeah.
The Cult is probably the best villain group in Fear. Yeah, without a question, these guys are already my favorite. These guys have already topped the Proctors for me. What about you guys?
I would say so, and the main reason why is because the Proctors, if the Proctors were on longer, maybe I would have said the Proctors, but let's be real, they did not do too much because they weren't around that long. So, yeah, the Cult wins.
They win just because we're learning history about them. We've got, like, good characters, and we know this group's here to stay. We know these guys aren't going anywhere. They're going to be around for a bit.
Oh, no, this is a Season 7 threat, let's be real.
In my opinion, this should be the last threat on Fear. This should be, like, the final season type of threat. Like, make Season 7 the final season and make this, like, the final threat.
Well, exactly, because how much further can you go with a threat past this, is my question.
Like, do this, have them go into, have, like, I don't know, them cross over into, main show, or some of them, I guess, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, once Fear's over, I don't think they're going to get rid of the Fear characters, so just figure out something to do with them after.
Yep, I mean, they've got 50,000 spin-offs, so they can put them somewhere.
Hey guys, in a way, we never did see John's dad die. John just talked about him a lot, so he could have been alive the whole time. Well, I think it's basically confirmed now, guys, that this is John Sr. I think this is him. I don't see who else this would be.
Well, yeah, well, how would you argue, like, that the guy knows June's gun and all that stuff? Like, I remember that was the scene that proved it to me. I'm like, okay, that's the dude.
You know when it's probably gonna be confirmed when he's John Sr. He's probably gonna pull out that same photo John had of him when he was a kid next to his dad. June's gonna see it and she's gonna piece it together.
That's what I'm saying, and it's just gonna be this big moment where a lot of the casual viewers that don't look into this stuff as much as all of us do are gonna be like, whoa, like we're gonna get some, any Skybound reaction fan, people are probably gonna be losing it over that.
Oh, I know I'll be. This is going to be some freaking awesome stuff. Like, I think this is a really good idea. Like, yes, we lost John Dory. Garrett Dillahunt wanted off the show. But in return, like, potentially, this guy, honestly, could be just as good.
Yep. And again, like I said before, he's a great actor, so I don't put it past him that he could be phenomenal, to be honest.
I feel like he's going to be a darker John, though, because, like, remember John always told stories that this guy, he wasn't exactly the nicest dude.
No.
And I think his name actually, I don't know, his name might be John Sr., because I remember Rowdy saying earlier in the chat that it's, like, confirmed on the site or something.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, so I can't say it, but yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That nuke is going off 100%. I say the finale, it goes off, and that's our cliffhanger.
Yep.
But, like, I gotta wonder, though, how is, the budget's gotta be good, because they gotta show a nuclear bomb going off, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Season 7, I feel like, could be a major, like, radiation type of storyline. Like, like, avoid the radiated areas and all this crap.
Well, let's be real, and this is also this is the most exciting part, is that, guys, literally, that season 7, like, they are filming that right now.
Yep, they're filming it as we speak. Would you say John's death is still disrespectful? Yes, because of the way it happened. If he died in a better way, I would say no, because they're honestly fixing, like, all of the stuff with John. We get a new awesome character, plus June is really good, so you get, like, 2 really good characters there. But the way John died, man, I'm sorry. No.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, I'm like, you know what? I'd be fine with his character death as long as you do it right, but the fact that you treat him like he doesn't matter, and you also rip off a death that was already done with a little kid shooting a big character, and this, you could argue, oh, like, no, it's not a ripoff. But this is how they literally prove it to you in the darn show that it's a ripoff of Nick's death. They play the same frickin' music. Like, come on.
Yeah, there's way too much there that shows it. But, do I think that there's a lot of good things coming out of this now? Yes. June's character is pretty freaking good now. I need to see a bit more before I can say she's a great character. And John Sr., from what I've seen, is pretty cool. He's got some, like, small, pretty badass moments. But we need to see more of that character before I even make a prediction or judgment on him. But so far, I'm liking the way it's looking. Alright, let's see. Fear the Walking Dead, Nuclear Winter. Oh, man. Well, that death did make me quit the show. I'd say get back on it, Epic. Honestly, I know that death really, like, made you not want to watch it anymore. But, honestly, the show's really good right now.
Epic, all I can tell you, man, honestly, like, this is really the only thing I can tell you about Fear the Walking Dead right now. You're missing out, my friend. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Fear Season 6 could end up being in the top 2 franchise seasons. I need to see a few more episodes before I could say that. It'll probably end up going in a top 5 for sure. Top 2, though, I don't know, man. That would mean it would have to be Season 2 of the main show for me, and that's a tough one right there.
Oh, it's already a top 5 for me personally, but again, like you just said, I got to see a season all the way through before I can say it.
Like, I know what's been going on. But now, how would our characters survive a nuke? Will they use the holding? I don't know, like, I don't know if they'll nuke the area where our characters are. They might hit somewhere else. That would bring up the CRM, though, I feel like. If the CRM frickin' found out a nuke went off somewhere, I think the CRM would want to get involved in that, figure out what that is, right?
Man, talk about some hype for Season 7 if they leave us with that.
Exactly. I've gotten serious here for preferring 6 over 3. Oh, Season 6 freaking smokes Season 3 of Fear, in my opinion. Just smokes it.
There's no comparison, and the reason why, I'm sorry, a lot of the characters in Season 3 act like total idiots.
Like, this is my opinion. Season 3 is only good because of Troy.
Oh, I know. You remove Troy out of there, dude, what do you have? Like, seriously, you got a stupid Travis death, bunch of unnecessary character deaths, and villains and storylines that don't go anywhere.
Plus, Madison being friends with the guys that killed Travis. Like, what?
Yeah, I know. It's like, ooh, that makes us prisoners on our own land, Madison. Better than the alternative. Give him the key. Like, are you stupid?
I know. By the way, guys, Resident Evil 8 has been looking awesome. Yeah, I heard it's a good game. I'm gonna have to pick it up when it goes on sale. It's been looking pretty good so far, though, yeah. I've gotten hate for liking it more. You've gotten hate for liking Season 6 more? Well, those are probably the OG Fear supremacists that say Reboot Fear is garbage and don't watch it.
The funny thing is, about a year ago, I would have actually agreed with those people, but can't say that anymore.
Ah, this is how much Season 6 of frickin' Fear is honestly killing it. This one season of Reboot Fear smokes all 3 Dave Erickson seasons for me.
I know, people look at seasons, like the first 3 seasons of Fear, and they're just like, oh man, when the legend was writing. I'm like, okay, pump your brakes.
Bro, I have to laugh at that, because frickin' people act like Dave Erickson and, like, Fear seasons 1, 2, and 3 is like the holy grail of the Walking Dead franchise. I'm like, no, not even close.
How many times was I bored and I was on my phone while the episode was on?
Yeah, pretty much. Season 2 especially. Season 2 of Fear was so bad, dude.
In my opinion, people say that the farm storyline on the main show is the most boring frickin' storyline ever. And what I have to say to those people, watch the boat storyline on Fear. Watch the boringness that is.
Yep, enjoy frickin' sitting on a boat for 5 episodes with Strand being like, it's my boat for 5 episodes straight.
You know what? That's the only thing I like about the whole, like, boat stuff with that whole crap dialogue. I do like the one part when Strand's just like, rule number 1, it's my boat. Rule number 2, it's my boat. And if you didn't get any kind of indication from rule 1 or 2, it's my goddamn boat.
Yeah, I gotta admit, Strand's one of the only characters from Fear. Like, is the guy a snake? Yes. Is he a prick at times? Yes. But let's be honest, he's the most consistent character that show's had. He's like,
such a good prick though. Let's be real.
well, yeah, it's like I'm at the point now where it's just like, honestly, just keep Victor around to the end of the show. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, you know he's filming during season 7, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah. Sitting on a boat with a teenage girl who simps over pirates, who gets her whole group in danger. Oh yes, Alicia's finest moment right there, Rowdy. Her finest moment.
Ooh, no, but let's remember, she's the queen.
Oh yes, exactly. I'm sorry, man, but how stupid is Alicia, dude? You're freaking calling people up in the apocalypse on a walkie-talkie, freaking falling in love with some random voice over a radio, and tell them your coordinates? Not even Carl would do something that stupid, dude.
Man, I think even Carl would probably call her an idiot. He can't even be really talking either, but damn.
God. That was Alicia's worst moment. I'm sorry. Yes, shooting John was bad, but that, leading an entire group of frickin' people who want to murder you and kidnap you to your family's frickin' boat? Are you nuts?
And then you just got her stupid boyfriend at the end of it, who's just like, Alicia, you're leaving? Like,
Jack.
Yeah, duh.
Oh, God. You know how people are saying she runs into an old friend in 614? There's a lot of theorizing that it's Jack. I'm like, they're not bringing Jack back, dude.
Oh my god, dude! If they brought Jack back, dude, I'd be like, okay, now this is a good time to give him the Morales treatment.
Because Jack, honestly, why didn't they kill that character off, dude? Why did they have to leave that guy open-ended?
Not even just that. What's that other girl from the Flight series that she's also out there?
I think her name's either Charlie or Alex.
Whatever. It's not important enough for me to remember her name, but you get what I'm saying. There's so many characters that, and people mentioning Tobias, and I'm like, I don't care.
People are like, could Tobias be in the new Ftwd?
I know. I'm like, dude, first of all, make me care. Good luck with that, first of all. But second of all, why?
Exactly. Hey, Matt, I will say the characters in Season 2 were utter idiots. Everyone except Travis was an idiot in Season 2. I'm sorry.
Oh, Travis was frickin' the smartest character on that show for the entire time he was on until he was killed.
Guys, this is how much I thought Travis was the main character, right? I thought he was. I thought he was intended to be the main character up until his death. Legit, when he brutalizes Brandon and Derek for the death of his son, that was like a Season 5 Rick moment, and I gotta say, it's a top 10 Walking... Well, not top 10, but it's like... It is a top Walking Dead franchise moment. It's brutal. It's frickin' awesome. And I think it's one of the only good times from that frickin' season. Like, it was one of the only good scenes. And honestly, at that point, I'm like, dude, are we getting like a Season 5 Rick type character in Season 2 that's going to be going into Season 3 who's going to be an utter badass? Like, I'm all for it. And then he dies in 302, and I'm like, oh my god, what was the point of his character, dude?
Man, you know what? I'm going to say this because, and for some reason, people get so offended when I say this, but yes, I would have killed Madison in the darn helicopter and have Travis be so messed up, but then he has to, like, lead these group of people and set an example and keep Troy under control after all the crap Travis just went through. Think about the character development there.
Exactly. Hi, Matthew and Dan. Hey, what's up, Squid? How you doing, bro? We're just talking about Fear the Walking Dead right now.
What's up, man?
But yeah, like I was saying, I actually really like that alternate, like, universe you just came up with, Dan, where it's like Madison dies and it's actually Travis that survives.
Man, I could even see Travis giving Jake crap, too. He's like, keep your damn brother under frickin' control.
I hear some people say it could be Diane, the pickaxe girl. There's no point!
Once again, I don't care.
Wasn't she only in, like, one episode of Season 3?
And she was weird. What'd she do, like, collect teeth or something?
God, didn't she die? I swear the Proctors killed her.
Nah, apparently the Proctors took her away, and now the Proctors are gone too, so I don't know.
Stupid. I will say, I enjoyed Seasons 1 to 3, but Travis dying, huge mistake. Major mistake. I don't know why they killed Travis off. That was a very, 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 very bad decision. Honestly, at that point, I would have rather to see like Victor die or Daniel. Honestly, that's how much Travis was a major character for me. Obviously, now I can't say that because those characters, like, they're the only OGs we got left alongside Alicia. But like, jeez, dude, like Travis of all people.
I know, and well, yeah, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, dude, think about just the storyline of killing off Madison. You got the kids that have to grow up without Madison now. Travis is like the only like parent figure they have. He has to lead a group. He has to keep Troy under control. Jake is not doing a good enough job of keeping his brother under control. He has to deal with Jeremiah's crap. Like, just, I don't know. It's such a cool, like, idea.
Not to mention, the guy started to give me Rick Grimes vibes near, like, his last episodes. That's how much I was starting to like him. Like, he straight up felt like Fear's Rick.
I know. I still go back sometimes and watch that scene when he's, like, fighting those walkers in that pit, and the frickin' military guys are just laughing at him. And I swear, dude, the frickin' cement block is, like, this close to hitting that guy's head.
Dude, you know it was a frickin' badass kill? Honestly, it's like a horror movie kill. I love it. Is when the military are fleeing the base, and then the one guy's listening to a sound in the wall, and the walker just bursts through and pulls him in. I'm like, oh, that was so good.
Oh, man. See, though, this is what I'm saying. Season 3 has some good moments. It's just, it's a terrible decision.
301 was a freaking awesome premiere, though. Let's admit, that episode was so good.
That is legit one of the best Fear episodes. Like, I feel like that one is underrated as hell.
Yep. Friggin' Season 3 also had a really dumb moment, though, is... Remember when Madison stabs Troy in the eye? His eye's just back to normal later on in the season, dude.
I was literally watching that. I'm just like, okay, so his eye is like taken out. Oh, good job, Madison. You took his eye out. Then next thing you see like his eye patched up in episode 2. Then episode 3, it's just like this little cut on the top of his like eyebrow. I'm like, what the hell?
I'm like, nah, bruh, that was in his eye, dude. Alright, let me check the time, boys. We'll stream for another 10 to 15, and then I gotta work on survival. But I'll still be on call if you want to chill for a bit, Dan.
Sounds good, man.
Cool, cool. Alright, so we'll do another 10 to 15, guys. So we'll discuss a bit more Fear.
Yep, so any more comments about Fear or anything like that, just send it our way.
Season 11 stuff, too. I'm good to talk anything Walking Dead right now, guys. World Beyond, Rick movies, Fear, Maid Show, throw it at me.
However, if it's World Beyond, like, make sure it's really necessary.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Man, the Clark girls, like, stabbing out eyes. Madison with Troy and Alicia with the cult dude. At least Alicia finished the job and killed that dude, though. Might I add, though, that was a brutal frickin' death.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that was one of her best moments right there, dude.
Yeah. I remember he stabs the dude, or no, not he, she stabs the dude in the eye, and then frickin' puts the embalming thing in his neck, and you just see the blood draining, and I'm like, that's gruesome. I love it.
Badass as hell.
I gotta say, guys, like, this just shows, like, the main show, man, in 10C, like, there's no excuse not to show the kills and the gore, because Fear, dude, they are showing it and more. They're showing, like, the full extent of the gore.
Well, yeah, they got a bunch of walkers coming at characters, and it's like, are they socially distanced? Fuck no.
Exactly. Like, I don't know what Fear's doing, guys, but honestly, they're doing it well. Because honestly, like, you got the main show where every walker kill is censored in 10C, and it's like, you go to Fear and it's just like, okay, like, why is the main show suffering, though? Like, what the heck?
Yep, not to mention, and I feel like this is something people forget, like, dude, Fear literally resumed production before 10C A Walking Dead started filming.
Exactly. Honestly, this is also something that I never would have thought, like, to see myself saying, but, like, I hope it's not like this for a long time, because honestly it shouldn't be, but I'll take it, I guess. Who thought we'd be at a time period where just in the now, not generally, obviously, but just in the now, how is the spinoff doing better than the main show right now? How?
I know. I remember back in the day, like it was like season 7, season 8 vibes of the main or times of the main show. And I remember season 3 of Fear was on, and everyone was like, "Ooh, maybe Fear is better than the main show." But like, it was just kind of like a maybe at the time. This time, everyone's like, "Wow, Fear," and "Hey, Walking Dead get better." Like it's insane.
This is the first time I will gladly say, just in the now, Fear is beating the main show.
I know. I know. Like, it seems like I really every time I mention that, I seem to offend a lot of people when I say that, like, "Oh, Fear is better than the main show." You know, it's like Matt just said. It's in the now, not overall. Overall, it'll never change. The main show's the best.
Yeah, well, it's the best thing from The Walking Dead, period. Like, I don't care if you give me a Negan spinoff, the main show will always be superior.
Yeah, and all these people saying they're like, "Oh, the Daryl and Carol show, man." That like, I actually, yes, I have heard people say that, man, Daryl and Carol on their own, they could make that even better than they had on the main show. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about?
Exactly. Fear Season 6 is easily one of the goriest seasons of the franchise. Oh yes, big time. Because of the end is the beginning group, for sure. They're adding a lot of gore. Very good, yeah. The effects this season have been top-notch. Hey Matt, you think it was planned out for Madison to get the fake-out death, only to bring her back as a villain? Do you agree? I don't think they were going to bring her back originally. I think Ian and Andy legit killed her off, and yeah, that was just Ian and Andy being idiots as usual.
Well, you know that they literally like they killed that character. Like, yes, she's dead because they confirmed it on Talking Dead. Which now it's like Talking Dead, man. That show is like I can't trust that show much anymore because now it's like, dude, now the character's actually coming back, and yeah, I don't know. I don't think they planned it though.
No. I remember we discussed this on Brian's stream earlier. This has been the general theme of Fear Season 6, and it just proves to me that Madison will come back. What's been the general theme? What have we seen this season? Family reunions. Dwight and Sherry. Dakota and Ginny. John's dad's coming back. Wes and Derek. Shall I go on? What's the last one they gotta do? Alicia and Madison. And what have they been teasing? Madison's return. 6-11. Teddy says he's a mama's boy. Alicia watching the family reunion with Wes and Derek. She talks about her mom. There's also the scene where she burns out the walkers, which is shot just like how Madison did it. 6-12. What's brought up? Alicia's back at the stadium. What's episode 14 called? Mother. It's just, no, it's confirmed. There's too much now.
And, like, excuse my language for this, but I'm sorry, dude. For the people that say, like, if they did all of this, if they did all the teasing and all this, I'm sorry, they would be evil pricks if they just didn't do it.
Oh yeah, if they've been teasing all this and then it's like, nope, I'd be like, what was the point?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, listen, I'm going to say this now because I feel like someone has to say it here. Listen, episode 14, Mother, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. It's too obvious in my opinion. But yes, even though I don't necessarily think it'll be 14, it is still happening this season. There's no way.
What's that line, though, like in the synopsis? Alicia runs into an old friend. I don't think it'll be Madison. I honestly think it's just going to be a character that's been on Fear Season 6 that she just hasn't seen for a little bit.
Yeah, and man, if they dare bring those damn kids back.
Oh, I've heard that theory that it's the kids. I'm like, oh, no.
It's like, Max? Alicia? It's like, no, man.
No thank you, those kids. No. It's kind of crazy, though, how many family reunions we've seen on Fear now. Like, so many. But the frickin' cherry on top would be Alicia and Madison.
Yeah, which also the going theme is that every single one of these reunions have something tragic about them. Think about that one. Like I said on Brian's stream, the last punch in the gut is Season 6. As if Season 6 didn't already screw up the viewers just by watching it at some points. The final darn thing you see is the actual, like, fact that Madison is the darn, like a villain, like an actual villain.
Well, yeah, like, each of these reunions have something tragic about them. Dwight and Sherry. Sherry doesn't exactly want to be back with Dwight fully, and, like, they're on very bad terms. Virginia and Dakota. Dakota finds out Virginia's her mom, and then literally the same day Virginia is executed, Dakota finds the dead body. Wes and Derek finds out his brother's insane, tried to kill him at Tank Town, and has to put his brother down. John's dad returning. John Sr. is going to find out his son is dead. Now, what would be the cherry on top of all those tragedies right there? Alicia finding out that Madison is a part of the End is the Beginning group, and eventually she has to kill Madison.
That's what I'm saying, and I know a lot of people are like, man, people have also really like shut this theory down as well too. But keep in mind, guys, I mean, I'm one of them guys that really does not care too much about the original showrunner for Fear, Dave Erickson. But his original plan was that eventually Madison would turn evil, and that you would actually have, I think the original plan was that Nick would have to deal with his mom. But again, they're going to have to switch that up because, you know, Frank Delane wanted to leave. That's, you know, whatever. That's fine. But I'm just saying that right there, and then you've literally got Alicia that, like, maybe it's Alicia now that has to deal with that. It just would be crazy because it's like you've got these two showrunners that come on, Ian and Andrew. They screw everything up. You think everything's doomed. And then this ghostwriter comes on, and in the end, not only does he fix the characters, he actually accomplishes, by the time Fear ends, what the actual point was supposed to be.
Exactly. Not only does, like, Madison's return impact Alicia, though, but Victor and Daniel as well. Especially Victor, too, because, like, Madison and Victor were, like, close friends. They even call each other, like, their drinking buddies and stuff, right? So, like, it'll really impact Victor as well, I feel like. You'll see, like, a lot with, like, Madison and Victor once she's back.
Well, yeah, and it's not going to be like it was before. Like, let's be real. If Madison turns evil, which in my opinion is what they're going to do, then, yeah, it's not going to be the same.
This is my prediction. I think in Season 7, this is what's going to make Alicia kill Madison. I think Madison is going to end up killing Victor.
Yeah, and whether you like Victor or not, let's be real, he is one of the people that protected Alicia most of the time.
He always stuck up for Alicia.
Exactly.
Now imagine he's trying to protect Alicia from Madison. Madison gets freaking pissed off by this and kills Victor to get him out of the way.
I know. And it's like Madison finally thinks, oh, like, I won. I got my daughter back, this and that. And then the daughter has to deal with it.
Yep. She finds out that Victor's dead, and then Alicia and Morgan plan to take Madison down for good.
Man, I would have never guessed, dude, that Fear the Walking Dead would actually have a character that teams up with someone from the main show to take down the lead of Fear the Walking Dead as a villain. Like, that sentence, if that was said to me a few years ago, I would never freaking believe it.
Well, I'd laugh in your face. Like, imagine in Season 3, you're like, yeah, Madison's actually going to be running a doomsday cult. She's going to kill Victor, and Alicia and Morgan from The Walking Dead have to stop her. I'd be like, okay, what are you smoking, bud?
I know, but that's what I'm saying, dude. Man, the fact that they created, in my opinion, they created the impossible. Like, holy frick.
They done good, in my opinion. Well, apart from Season 5 and 4B. But other than that, they done good.
Exactly, because even 4A, I'm sorry, I like it. I don't think it's really that bad, to be honest.
There's good episodes, especially the premiere is one of my favorites from Fear. What's your story?
Well, it feels like half Walking Dead. Like, it feels like some Walking Dead. Middle of it is like reboot Fear, and then the end of it gives you those early Fear vibes.
Exactly. Not to mention, like, let's be honest, dude, that Rick Grimes cameo at the beginning.
I know, and it's like Jesus and Carol, it's like, okay. Then you see Rick, and you're like, holy frick, what the hell?
It's pretty crazy that Morgan, like, will never see Jesus again. Like, I keep forgetting that Morgan and Jesus actually kind of had, like, some character development together as friends in a way.
Yeah, and you know Carol's safe for a while, so maybe we'll actually see that, but it's like, it's the only one I care about is him seeing Rick again.
Oh, dude, honestly, that needs to happen. There's no way that the Walking Dead franchise can end, and Rick Grimes and Morgan Jones are not, you know, back together again. Like, the first two that we saw on screen. Like, let's be honest. Like, yeah, we saw Shane at the beginning and all that, but who was the first person Rick ran into in the apocalypse? It was Morgan.
Exactly.
Honestly, this is actually... I think Morgan will die in the Rick movies. This is how I think it'll happen. He's going to end up saving Rick, just like in Days Gone By, but this time Morgan doesn't survive. Like, Morgan knows he's going to die. He gives his life for Rick. He's like, you have a family to take care of. Rick tries to stop him. Morgan goes out in a freaking heroic way, and that's the end of Morgan's character.
Cool. Man. Well, though, that's the thing. Even though that's a big Season 1 character, I'd be good with that death if they did it right.
Well, yeah. Well, I'd be pissed if he died before he met Rick. But after he's back together with Rick, Morgan's story has come full circle. He's back with Rick. They're together again. Now, honestly, if he dies a heroic death, and this also comes full circle, because what's the first thing Morgan did is he saved Rick's life. Imagine this time, he has to save him again, but this time he doesn't survive it, and he pays the ultimate sacrifice, which is he dies, but in the end, Rick gets to live and go back to his family.
Yep, exactly. And it's like, yeah, and then, Dwayne has to grow up without him. No, I'm kidding.
No, don't even go there. No, but in all seriousness, though, that would be frickin' awesome. Is Morgan, like, he goes out in a heroic way, and then you got Rick who survives, he's back with his family, and, it could do some stuff there, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, dude, you've got a story there, and not even to mention, like you just said, it would come full circle to where by the end of the, Morgan's story, yeah, he'd save Rick. People would be furious. Either way it goes, whenever Morgan dies, people would be furious. No one's ever going to be happy. But good writing, you could even kill Morgan with good writing.
Mm-hmm. These are the last 4 surviving characters, in my opinion, that, like, the adult characters, not counting the kids here, because I know they'll be on as legacy characters. This is the last 2 that I think, the last 4, I mean, that should be alive by the end of the franchise. Rick, Daryl, Michonne, Negan.
Yeah, and for those crazy Carol fans, no, Carol's not in that list because she's just whatever for me.
I think Carol should die in the Daryl and Carol spinoff. Daryl goes back to the communities at some point. Rick's back. Negan, I don't know, it's so many years later. Negan will be forgiven, and you got Michonne back. Those should be the last 4 main characters that are still alive.
Man, people would hate me for this because honestly, I don't even think Carol should have survived the main show. I'm sorry.
You want my opinion? Carol should have died in season 11, and Daryl's spinoff should have honestly just been with Daryl, and just give him a new cast of characters in the spinoff to hang out with.
He meets up with new people and stuff like that, and yeah.
It would be like Morgan on Fear.
Dude, it literally would be so funny, though, because you would have Ride with Norman Reedus, which is him riding around meeting up with, people in real life, and then you just got the apocalyptic Daryl spinoff, him riding around meeting people.
Imagine it's Ride with Daryl Dixon.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, AMC, make it happen.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, hey, let's not rule out that title, because they freaking love Norman Reedus.
Yeah, Ride with Daryl Dixon. I gotta do it, dude.
Oh, man.
I'm okay with any death as long as it's well written. Exactly. Well, other than Negan, yes.
I know. Negan, man, he needs to be a freaking 70, 80-year-old man and still freaking kicking around.
Yeah, which I think he will be. Actually, another, prediction. When do you see Dwight dying in the Walking Dead franchise? Because I do think he will. I just don't think it'll be for a good while.
I don't think it's going to be Fear. I just don't think they're going to go there. But again, I don't know. Movies, maybe? I don't know.
It's hard to see where the franchise goes. Honestly, you know where I could see it? The Negan spinoff.
If they bring him into that, I would say yes. If not, then it's really tricky.
Because where else does Dwight fit?
Exactly. He's kind of a question mark because it's like they're arriving at the Commonwealth storyline coming up soon. He's not there. He's not going to be. Thank God. So what do you do with him?
Well, in my opinion, yeah, Dwight's not going to die anytime soon. He's definitely dodging his comic death. I think Sherry's getting her comic death, though. It's just going to happen on Fear.
Sherry's getting it, and in my opinion, it's going to happen on, what's the date? June 13th. That's going to be the date that Sherry dies.
Either 13th or 20th for me.
No, apparently the finale is not delayed anymore.
Oh, hell yes!
Yep, we're getting 13, 14 break for 1 week, and then 15 and 16. So literally the finale now is June 13th. It's on the wiki.
So it's just the Memorial Day then. Okay, good.
Yeah, because I remember at first, I'm like, okay, what the actual fuck? But
well, you remember that video I made where I got all panicked, and I'm like, are they going to delay it to later this year and all that? Like, I legit thought that's what was going to happen. Thank God that's not happening.
Yeah, 1 week, I can deal with that.
Well, yeah, plus we're still going to have other stuff going on, like there'll be Wasteland and Plague and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah. And, well, speaking of all that, guys, I think that is going to be a wrap on this stream. I thank y'all for coming, hanging out with us, talking about Fear, the main show, all the good Walking Dead content. And, yeah, guys, we'll see you here next Sunday for our discussion for JD, known as 613. Thank y'all for watching, guys, and have a good rest of your night.